Most people think pathological lying is about malice, but psychology says it's actually a symptom of a fundamentally rewired brain. We've all felt that chill when someone looks us in the eye and says something we know isn't true. It's confusing and frustrating. But if you stop looking at the lie and start looking at the nervous system behind it, you see something very different. Pathological lying isn't a personality flaw. It's often a survival skill that someone had no choice but to master when they were too young to know any better. For many, the habit of lying started when they were 7 or 8 years old, trying to read a room before they spoke. If you grew up in an unpredictable emotional environment, you learned early on that the truth didn't keep the peace, it caused explosions. In these homes, peace became your job. If your mother's silence was a language you had to master, or if love was conditional and based on how useful you were, you learned to provide the version of reality that kept the adults around you calm. Psychology calls this parentification, when a child becomes the emotional caregiver for the adults. In that world, the truth is a luxury you can't afford. You lie because your nervous system learned that being authentic leads to abandonment. Many pathological liars are stuck in what we call a performance contract. They grew up believing that their value depends on what they do, not who they are. They might have been the therapist friend, or the strong one who held the family together. As adults, they continue this performance because they are terrified that if they stop auditioning for a role in their own life, they will be evicted from the hearts of those they love. They lie to make themselves seem more interesting, more successful, or more digestible for others. It's a negative core belief, the deep-seated feeling that I am not worthy of love as I am. So they build a house of cards because they think the real ground they stand on is too much for anyone else to handle. There is often a link between pathological lying and high intelligence. Research shows that people who overthink or daydream constantly have genius-level imagination that sometimes lacks a target. Their brain works at a velocity that requires verbal output just to keep things organized. When this powerful imagination engine is combined with a history of trauma, it creates deep emotional simulations. The liar isn't just telling a story, they are simulating 10 different versions of a conversation in their head to see which one results in the most safety. Their brain is running a search engine for the outcome that avoids conflict. They aren't weird or crazy. They are running an advanced cognitive system that is being used for protection instead of creation. Psychology suggests that some people use silence and others use lies to create data asymmetry. When you tell the truth, you are revealing your cards and handing over a blueprint of your insecurities. To someone who has been burned or betrayed, this feels like handing over a weapon. By lying, they become a vault. They control the narrative because they are terrified of being read by others. It's a way of regulating their nervous system. If you can't predict how someone will react to the truth, you provide a lie as a shield to protect the small part of yourself that is still capable of trust. It is avoidant attachment dressed up as social competence. Finally, many liars suffer from the witness wound. They are incredible at seeing the patterns and pain in others because they lived through it. They can spot a lie in someone else within seconds because they became a translator of human suffering just to survive. The tragedy is that they are so busy being the emotional archaeologist for everyone else that they forget to witness themselves. They are so used to shrinking to accommodate the needs of others that they have lost the ability to tell where they end and the lie begins. They are isolated behind a wall of their own making, believing that vulnerability equals abandonment. If you are someone who struggles with this, or if you love someone who does, remember this: you are not broken. You are someone who survived what shouldn't have been survivable. You developed hypervigilant empathy to stay safe, but now you're scanning for threats that aren't there anymore. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means finally letting that child who grew up too fast come home. It means realizing that you don't have to fix or perform to be worthy of existing. In Japan, they have an art called kintsugi, where broken pottery is fixed with gold lacquer. Your cracks, the lies, the fear, the survival modes, can be filled with the gold of self-awareness. You can choose to witness yourself first. If this validated something you've been feeling about yourself or your past, drop a heart or a brain emoji in the comments. It's a signal that you're ready to stop performing and start being real. For more researched insights on the hidden patterns that shape your personality, real insight, no fluff, subscribe. You grew up fast, but you're still growing, and this time you get to do it for yourself. I'll see you in the next video.